Hal's Embrace, increased range on Lunar Flare. Very good talent to pick up here on this map. And NinjaHood is just forced into a passive posture. But they do hit their level 10. So they are going to be able to defend this. Should Snipe Squad try to press the advantage, but they're just going to back away. All the members of Snipe Squad hanging out here looking to make an aggressive play. But uh-oh. Nice strike, spoiling the party. Says, alright guys, I do have this Oracle thing here. It's pretty cool. Don't get too cheeky. Thank you for the follow, whoever that was. I didn't catch it, but I really appreciate it. And Ninja looking to get more value out of their bruiser camp this time. They stand to capture this right as the immortal phase picks up, and it's actually Snipe Squad that's somewhat behind. They're just now starting their bruiser camp up. You do have NinjaHood here clearing out the siege camp that was picked up, but they're going to want to press this. They want to try to go in now, I feel like, but they're looking to defend at least for now. They're looking to have Snipe Squad come in here and they want to take a team fight. But they are starting to advance across the map in a very tight formation. Phantom Puppy out front, Castle Bravo out front to meet them. And here we go. We're going to start moving in here. Enjoy gets called with the Entomb. But the counter engagement from the Sunder is huge. And Diamond jumps out of nowhere on Freakazoid, attacking the back line. He's going to have to start backing away here. POK eating a good amount of damage. Shadowstalk is keeping him alive. Castle Bravo, the recipient of an ancestral healing, and POK is on an island. He's going to go down. He's getting chased. Nice strike coming up here. Look, can he get his shield in time? He does. He gets a shield on POK, so he's not dead yet. Looking to get some mobility out, but the stun is going to take him out. So we're looking at a 5v4 right now in favor of Snipe Squad, who's just going to rotate back and start doing some damage to their immortal. And Phantom Puppy's going to need to hit the well. He has that up. Freakazoid is here, but one of the main damage dealers for NinjaHood is down right now, so they're not really going to be able to do much about this. Dropping frames, I'll have to check on that. I'll close all, like any other random stuff out after this. Thanks for the heads up though. Halftime already here, so Snipe Squad just burning this down. NinjaHood looking to take what they can get. This is going to be another immortal for Snipe Squad. The duelist stacks were lost for Greymane, so he's going to have to build those back up. They actually haven't gotten a takedown yet, so, you know, no loss of value in the talent there. Bit of a bittersweet realization, I guess. Snipe Squad, halfway, a little more, to level 13. So this could hurt. This could be a really big push for Snipe Squad. Should they pick up their level 13 while this is going on, it's going to leave NinjaHood at a serious disadvantage here. And I think they're going to get it. This fort is pretty much a foregone conclusion. Some nice poke from King of Skills here. And the engaged Diamond with the leap. POK on an island. Completely caught out here, but the counter engagement. Nice strike is low as well here, but he goes down. POK actually manages to escape. He actually gets out of there. Castle Bravo rotates back to the rest of his group here, and they're looking for the keep wall. They got one tower down already, and wow, that other tower exploded at about a quarter health. So that goes down, and we're looking at some keep damage here too. They can keep pressing this. Tassadar is down. Freakazoid is barely getting away here. Castle Bravo has to jump over the wall, but Muradin does go down. So they're not going to be able to get this keep. This should be a retreat for Snipe Squad. Yeah, they're happy with what they got there. They got a kill. They got the keep wall. They have the talent tier. They're not going to throw. They don't want to throw yet. So they're just going to back away here. And Al does spot them in the top lane. They're getting the siege camp just to have some residual pressure from that immortal. Just something to consider. But NinjaHood's on the prowl here. Well placed totem from Peanut. Peanut putting the totem down to make sure they don't get engaged on there. Phantom Puppy down in the bottom lane. Soaking what he can, trying to get to level 13. Enjoying Diamond rotating down here. King of Skills. King of Patience. Hoping to catch a Phantom Puppy out of position, but he starts backing away. Level 13 talents are picked up. Looking at those, you're going to have Giant Killer, Thunderstrike, Mystical Spear, Pyromaniac, and Earth Shield. Have an engagement here, though. Phantom Puppy caught out alone. Nice force wall. I don't think he has his E up because he's taking a ton of damage, and he goes down. Throws out the Entomb for flavor, but the leap from Diamond there is kind of countered out by Night Strike's Dimensional Warp. Nice timing there. But they're down Leoric. He'll be up here in 15 seconds, so he will be up in time for the next Immortal phase. Both teams looking to get their Immortals here. Yeah, Tommy Sugar. His name just cracks me up every time. On the prowl, crushing hopes. You're gonna see Leoric's damage potential here go through the roof with that pickup at 13. Glass cannon, and prescience. So they're saying, all right, we need more damage. We need to start taking some of these team fights. We got one takedown. We can do it again. We're gonna do it again. And they're just looking to defend at this point. They're gonna have to make a move here soon though, because Snipe Squad is on the verge of hitting 16. Lunar Flare does miss on Bravo, but he does take a good amount of damage, and Phantom Puppy jumps back before it gets too real. And they're just looking to defend right now. Both teams kind of posturing. A nice orb from Li Ming. Diamond hanging out just steps outside of the stun here. And both teams just trying to posture for the engage. Everyone has their heroics. So, you know, Sundering is always a threat here, especially on a map like this. Enjoy. He finds an opportunity. He's going to take it. And they're going to have plenty of follow-up with Leap and Stormbolt. And Phantom Puppy and Ninja, they're going to have to really engage here at some point. Sooner or later, Snipe Squad's going to hit 16, but there's a Sundering. The Leap does connect on Li Ming, who gets absolutely deleted. Gets deleted. Castle Bravo, the chase continues. Lands a nice Stormbolt on POK 36. Phantom Puppy doing a good job peeling for his teammate there, but that's going to be yet another Immortal from Snipe Squad. It's looking like. Thanks for the respect. Appreciate it. Appreciate that a lot, actually. Thanks. And this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. The Immortal's showing up in the bottom part of the map. Snipe Squad has the level 16 talents. NinjaHood is a level and a half away. Should they lose 2 heroes, that might be the game. They do have Li Ming back. Some poke potential from Greymane, but I don't know how they keep up. The shield is, you know, 60%. It is burned down to halfway already. A nice orb from Li Ming, but the keep is halfway down, and this might be it. Everyone has to be careful about their positioning. If someone gets caught out, it's going to change the whole conversation for the end of this game here. And look at that stun combo on POK. He can't get away. And that's going to be game 1 of this series. Wow. Exciting stuff. I was hoping for an exciting game, and that's exactly what we got out of the gate here. Snipe Squad does come away with game 1 on Battlefield of Eternity. They're in a very good position here, because now they can pick the map. NinjaHood can respond. They do have first pick, first ban for the next map. Let me actually see what map these guys. Exciting stuff. I was hoping for an exciting game, and that's exactly what we got out of the gate here. Snipe Squad does come away with game 1 on Battlefield of Eternity. They're in a very good position here, because now they can pick the map. NinjaHood can respond. They do have first pick, first ban for the next map. Let me actually see what map these guys. So talking about that game. Talking about the compositions, we can go back to the composition screen here. So, at face value, I really like the Leoric pickup. Leoric can do a ton of damage against a heavy front line like Sonya and Murden, but it put them in such a rough position because they did not have many ways to engage Snipe Squad. And when you have Greymane and Li Ming in your composition, that's exactly what you want to do. Yeah, it's the Green Ranger. But yeah, you really only had Tyranda's Lunar Flare as far as a hard engage with a stun, which didn't have the most impact in this game. Meanwhile, Snipe Squad, you have Sunder to consider, Stormbolt, Leap, Gravity Lapse, powered up Gravity Lapse for potentially 3 stuns on heroes. They just had so many ways to set the terms of the initial engagement that all NinjaHood could really do was just defend. they weren't in a position to really set up an Entomb to get a lot of value out of that. They never really gave Greymane an opportunity to really get his damage in there. Every time he jumped in or even got part way caught out of position, he got blown up. So I think Leoric, I like the idea behind Leoric. I'm not sure if they got what they wanted out of it. That would be my thoughts on how that game went. But we do have the next map called already, and we're going to be going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Let me ask the teams if they'd like a break. If not, I might actually take a 5-minute break for myself. But yeah, to those who are just tuning in, and yeah, we're gonna have a 5-minute break here. For those just tuning in, I sent a tweet out earlier saying that if I got 20 likes or follows on that tweet, that I would reveal my secret identity. I am the Green Ranger. So there's that. Looking at some of the commentary here, Magix agrees with me as well. Leoric, I get why they went for Leoric, but I agree. Solo Warrior Leoric, when you don't have a lot of stuns to really allow him to jump out there like that, it's a tough time. And Falstad was not picked or banned, actually. Really, really good point there. I didn't even think about that. Tired Vice Dragons was going pretty good until they lost. That's true. It was going really well up until the core went down, and it didn't go so well. Yeah, Green Ranger here. So we set a 5-minute break at 12:32. So we got 4 minutes left. Nah, not the White Ranger. Green Ranger is where it's at. First season of Power Rangers, I still remember that. I was hooked to that as a kid. Tommy? Yeah, season 3 of season 3 of Cherry League, I might evolve to the White Ranger. What's going on, Jay? I love the conversation going on here in the chat. Let me update the game here. Round 1 in the history books. We are well on our way to round 2. Going to Tomb of the Spider Queen. Getting the draft ready just ahead of time. Close a bunch of background stuff out and make sure it's not causing any lag. Did hear that I was dropping a few frames there. Can't have that drama. Impeach P, okay. Tommy's forever, man. Tommy is forever. The guy like did MMA. Like he got crazy. Let's see. Oh wow, there were a couple more likes for that tweet that enabled the enabled the Green Ranger here. We'll get draft links out to the teams here. Yeah, Jay, I recommend. I recommend it. All right. And I'll get the observer link into the lobby here. Oh, Char Carl. Yeah, man. Thanks, man. Appreciate that. Char Carl. Thanks for the follow, man. I'm glad you like the cast so far. Yeah, Jay. I was really excited. I mean, Super Jova, he's a superhero trying to, get some of the chair league casters together for BlizzCon. But those tickets went immediately. It was insane. I'm excited for this, though. So we're going into game 2. We saw Snipe Squad come away with a very, very impressive victory. And another host. Cool. Who is it? Stoughton. Oh, wow. Cool, man. I watch Stoughton stream a lot. So that's really cool. Wow. Tommy C. Shark. Thanks for the follow. I saw the name. But yeah, Snipe Squad took a very nice win in game 1. They utilized the strengths of their draft. They had tons of lockdown. And Ninja has to be aware of that. They have to be aware of the pitfalls of going with a solo warrior Leoric, of only having one real reliable stun. And they didn't want to cook. They don't want to cook, so they ban out Kael'thas right out of the gate. They don't want to deal with that. What would have been interesting about that is if they had a reliable Kael'thas player. Normally when there's an S tier hero like that, and your first pick, first ban, one thing you can do is you can ban the second best hero first. And then that forces the other team into a position where it's do we want to give that hero, in this case Kael'thas, over to them, or do we want to ban them out and take them off the table ourselves? And then that leaves you in a position where you take the third best hero when your first pick. But they have their own plan. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. And they take Zul. They take Zul right out of the gate. They don't waste any time. I heard another follow go through. Thank you very much. Super appreciate it. I didn't catch the name. But Oh, rip. Let me change the draft over, because I'm good at this. Production value. Big time production value. I do have a delay on the cast, so it'll switch over here in a second. But Ninja takes Zul right out of the gate. They waste no time, and Snipe Squad responds by picking up Thrall. They went into their time pool here, so they did take some time to think about it. Wave clear is very important on this map. So taking Zul, very heads-up choice by Ninja. He's powerful on this map, not only as a solo laner, but to help rotate. He can jump around. Offers the lockdown that they were missing. Yeah, Strophos, production value. I'm a professional, Ninja has a plan here. They roll right into Sonya and Jaina. They don't want to run into that problem again. They don't want to run into having any lack of lockdown. So Zul's route Should Sonya go leap, there's a stun for that. And that gives Jaina all the time in the world to just blow somebody up with Blizzard. NinjaHood doesn't feel like seeing Uther here, so they ban Uther out. They do have Tassadar. I'd be surprised if they go for a solo support Tassadar. It's not something you see too often, particularly in the North American meta, but it's possible. NinjaHood bans out Johanna, so they don't want to have they don't want to give Snipe Squad the ability to go try to match their wave clear. They don't want to give them Knight takes pawn, so they ban out Johanna. That leaves Murden on the table. ETC still out there. Dahaka does get some value on this map. He can burrow into some very interesting spots to disrupt the turn in or to secure a gank on the bottom lane or whoever's solo laning. Snipe Squad looking to go double support. So they said, all right, you guys had it the first game. We can show you how to use this. We can show you how to utilize this. We're sniping that part of your composition, if you would. Roll credits. They have 46 seconds left in their time pool here. They're going to start dipping into that. Do they want to go for their warrior now? Do they want to take Murder or ETC off the table, have NinjaHood show the cards, and then see what kind of range damage they want to follow it up with? Or do they want to do something completely off the wall? I think going for a warrior here would be really good. And they do. They go for Murden. NinjaHood, they have ETC on the table still. Dahaka's on the table. What other warriors would really work here? I'm not sure they're going to go Leoric again. I know they already have Sonya. I'd be surprised to see that. NinjaHood picks up Brightwing though. Global presence, polymorph for further lockdown. They definitely wanted to address some of the holes that they had in their first game composition. So I like that choice a lot from them. They're going to want to be careful going into level 10 though, because they're not going to have Blink Heal before then. And Snipe Squad, they can do it to you. Hunter's Mark, Thrall's no slouch with damage. Tassadar isn't exactly the most damage dealing support you'd ever see, but a W can definitely help secure a kill there. Murden has lockdown from stuns, so they really want to think about how they want to round this composition out. Good amount of lockdown. Solid burst damage from Jaina. Who do they go with? 30 seconds left here. They could try to go something crazy. They almost have to go warrior here, right? Sonya is not really considered a solo warrior. She's more melee assassin than tank. So I'd be surprised if they go that route. So it has to come down to ETC or Dahaka, right? They have 3 seconds. They better pick. And they go Diablo. Okay. They go Diablo. I can see that working. And Snipe Squad rounds out their composition with Sylvanas, a very strong hero to take on this map. The Web Weaver phase, you have Sylvanas locking down structures. That's a ton. That's a ton of siege potential there. I really like that choice. Oh my gosh, hey, what's up, man? Let's get everybody in the lobby here. Talking more about these compositions. NinjaHood, by virtue of their draft kind of backfiring on them, forced them into passive positions at every important phase of the first game. They're going to have to break that. They're going to have to get away from that and stay aggressive, especially if you're going for Diablo. Let me look in the lobby here. I need to swap Night Strike. And we need one more. And there you go. They're jumping in here. So yeah, for all the passive play that they had to use in the first game, they're just going to have to shake that off. And they're going to have to just go ham. They're going to have to really show their stuff here. They're going to have to try to find Key engagement moments with Diablo. Sonya's there to follow up. They do have the lockdown from Zul. But again, one of the pitfalls that they have is that Brightwing is not the most, durable support in the early game. Wait, what? Lady Sky joined the lobby in the left lobby. Lady Sky, what's up? Wait, what? But yeah, Diablo does not have any self-sustain. So he jumps in there. He goes hard. He's like, all right, full ham YOLO. I'm engaging. They better come away with a kill there. They're gonna have to come away with a kill, because otherwise they could have a bad time. But we're gonna find out how this plays out. Right, meow. Gonna jump in this game. Production value. Going into the match early. Not missing a moment of the action here. Game 2. Series on the line here. On the left side, you got Snipe Squad. Enjoys playing Sylvanas this time. King of Skills showing some versatility. Going from Kael'thas to Murden. Diamonds on Tyrande. Castle Bravo is playing Thrall. And Penith is on Tassadar. Over on the right, you got NinjaHood. Go Ninja, go Ninja, go. PLK 36 on Brightwing. Low-Key's on Jane and Phantom Puppies on Sonya. Zul's being played by Freakazoid and Night Strike, rounding out the composition on Diablo. The Diablo pick, I feel like, is going to make or break this game for NinjaHood. Should Snipe Squad reliably pick him off early in a fight, especially pre-10, that's going to snowball into the late game and it's going to put them in a very rough spot. Conversely, if Diablo isolates targets early game, secures kills, they use their follow-up CC, that can propel them into the late game with a serious advantage. I really feel like that is the hero selection that's going to have the most impact on the outcome of this game. Both teams squaring off middle. Phantom Puppy looking for the flank position here, but surprise, King of Skills finds him a target. Does miss the Stormbolt, and no one's looking to put themselves out of position here just yet. Night Strike, man of the hour here on Diablo, hanging out mid with the rest of his team. Everyone gets knocked off to their mount, thanks to Sylvanas. King of Skills rotating up top to soak. You do see Sonya in the bottom lane. Freakazoid out on the limb here, picking up some of these gems here. Rotating up top. King of Skills in a forward position. Should be able to dwarf toss away if he gets antsy. But Night Strike is looking to get the overpower first, but doesn't get it. King of Skills jumps away. There's a nice Lunar Flare on Night Strike. The Hunter's Mark follow-up. Not enough to secure a kill. Penith and the crew's going to rotate away. And King of Skills goes fishing. Finds Leoric or Diablo there. But in the bottom lane, Sonya losing out to Thrall here. Castle Bravo securing the first blood of the game. And PLK is going to have to rotate down here to make sure they don't miss too much of the soak. Both teams on about the same level in terms of experience. And Freakazoid caught out in the top lane. Goes down as well. So that's 2 early takedowns for Snipe Squad. Living up to their name. Looking at talents here real quick. Perfect Storm. Perfect Storm instead of Reverberation. Standard talent pick you normally see from Murden. So that's going to shift King of Skills playstyle a little bit. You're going to see him just kind of slapping people with Storm Bolts even when it's not necessary really securing a kill. Because he's going to look to stack that up. Conjurer's Pursuit and Power. Getting standard stuff here. Shade for Zul. Soul Feast. Nice Strike looking to get some sustain out of his soul stacking. Got a 3-man rotation top for NinjaHood. Nice Strike hanging out here, gathering up some souls. And he might be better served rotating with the team. If he's soaking both of these lanes, he stands to build up his souls that much quicker. POK actually holding his own against Castle Bravo down here. I really like that they switched Phantom Puppy out. They identified a mismatch there in the lane, and they just said, all right, well, Brightwing can teleport in if they need him for a team play. So they're not going to miss out on his soak. It gives them some more flexibility. And Brightwing can poke. So Night Strike jumps in here, but finds himself in a very uncomfortable position. Body blocked, stunned, Hunter's Mark, rooted, deleted. And that's kind of what I was talking about. If Diablo hard engages, he doesn't have any self-sustain. And Snipe Squad can do it to you. They have enough damage. That's 3 takedowns. Night Strike might be feeling a little less confident about this Diablo pickup going into this. There is the root on King of Skills. Low key in a really rough spot. Goes down. Freakazoid's looking to get away with his life. Avoids the Lunar Flare here. And Snipe Squad is in a position to get a tier advantage. The first turn in the game. And NinjaHood starting to unravel here a little bit. They're going to have to change their strategy and really turn this around before it starts to get out of hand. 33 gems already turned in for Snipe Squad, and they do get their first. They get their first turn in less than 4 minutes into this game. Clearing out the wave here. They're about to hit level 7. And they are looking to get a kill here on Enjoy. The timing of the overpower allowed Enjoy to still use his Haunting Wave to get out of there. Nice counter engagement on Freakazoid. And King of Skills, Super Mario Brothers, jumps on Zul's face and gets the kill there, but leaves him in a tough spot. There is a shield from Tassadar, some healing from Tyrande, and King of Skills, he's gonna get away. He gets away. I just knew Murden was going down there. Penith? Penith, clutch shield, gives Tyrande the time to get King of Skills out of there. His passive heals him up with the will. Phantom Puppy, trying to take down this Web Weaver in the middle lane, but Sonya! Uh-oh! Sonya and Diablo get deleted here. Low key. Gets some body blocking from King of Skills, and that's another takedown. Another takedown. And Sylvanas is on Snipe Squad, so even though this Web Weaver is low health, it's going to be hard for it to go down with Sylvanas locking down the structures. So that's the first fort of the game. Castle Bravo down here taking out the bottom wall. In the top lane, you have Freakazoid here taking out the Web Weaver. And this is rough. King of Skills looking to land. He lands the Storm Bolt. There is the follow-up Lunar Flare. Hunter's Mark on Freakazoid, but he's going to be able to skate out of there. And off-screen, Brightwing taken down in the bottom. Castle Bravo putting in work, saying, I've got the bottom lane. I've got it. I'm hanging on to it. And Snipe Squad's in the driver's seat. They're on the verge of hitting level 10. They hit it. 2.5 levels behind, down a talent tier without their heroics. NinjaHood is going to have to readjust. And it looks like they are. They've identified that Castle Bravo's out here alone. Can they get the Shadow Charge? They do get it. They get the Overpower. They're going to root him in place. The Blizzard misses, though. There is the stun. There's the root. There's the Polymorph. Thrall goes down. That's huge. Every advantage they can possibly consider they need to go for here, and they managed to get that. But a nice Lunar Flare, fade away jump shot from downtown gets the kill on Zul, and that puts them in a tough spot. Starfall coming out here, doing a good amount of damage and zoning them out, securing the disengage. And Snipe Squad has just been suffocating NinjaHood here. Anytime they get anything close to some kind of advantage, Snipe Squad counters in some kind of way that just forces NinjaHood to be passive. And passive's not where you want to be when you have Diablo in your composition. A comfort to them is that once they get to level 10, they do stand to keep Diablo up a little more. Blink Heal will definitely help with that. And Snipe Squad's on the verge of getting their second turn in. NinjaHood's still a level away from hitting their heroics. They do have enough gems to get a turn in that could give them some breathing room. If they do manage to get a turn in, they aren't going to get a lot for it. But Snipe Squad gets their second turn in. And they have the Bruiser Camp. Night Strike caught out alone. It is lonely out in this forest, Night Strike. It is lonely. He goes down again. He does have enough souls to come back, but that just means it's going to be that much more squishy. That much more available to Snipe Squad to take full advantage of. Wailing Arrow, we already saw Starfall, Hunter's Mark, or Avatar, Starfall, Sundering, Force Wall. Still without their heroics, NinjaHood has their work cut out for them trying to defend this. Sylvanas is going to be able to just maximize the value that they get out of this push. That's one tower down. Overpower does put King of Skills in a tough spot, but a hero that can Dwarf Toss over the wall is not really who you want to go for. And he goes down! He goes down. The Sundering was a sick counter engagement. PLK trying to get Phantom Puppy out of here alive. And this is looking like an 8-minute keep. Jaina is way too low in health to really try to step forward and put any kind of counter pressure or damage on them. One Storm Bolt is all it takes for anyone on NinjaHood to go down at this point. They get the keep. They're rotating up top. They still have a good amount of health on this Web Weaver. And this might be 2 keeps less than 10 minutes into this game. They do have their heroics though. But they're down a tier. They're down 3 levels. Blink Heal is going to keep them up or try to help sustain them. But this is rough. This is particularly rough. And Sonya leaps in. Does get the engagement here. Polymorph follow-up. And a ton of damage on Peanut. Peanut does uses it. Prescience and Dimensional Warp. Stay alive though. King of Skills is going to jump out here. Peanut way off alone, but Murden does go down. I think Peanut was trying to, you know, lure himself out there and be the sacrifice. That's going to be 2 takedowns. That's huge. Not as huge as losing 2 of your keeps. Hey, Decade. Thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Looking over at the chat when I can. You get 2 takedowns, but you're down 3 levels and you're down 2 keeps. What do? You're only 5 gems away from getting your turn in. So you can do that. Castle Bravo doing a good job goaltending top, but Phantom Puppy does get the turn in down bottom. And if NinjaHood has any hope of getting back into this game, asserting themselves in any way, they have to do something with this. They have to try to isolate heroes. They have to try to get takedowns. They have to do something. They are pushing up the top lane, so they're going to get the most value out of that. They do have the skeletons from Zul pushing. And Loki is going to get the shield early. They want to make sure Jane is going to be around long enough to do their damage. Loki is forward here. PLK as well. Castle Bravo looking for the right moment. He sees that magic moment to get a Sundering. He could definitely spoil the party. Ninja Squad showing themselves in the top lane. Rotating up there to clear that out really quick. But NinjaHood is not being aggressive here. They see them on the map. That does give them a window. And they start rotating down, perhaps sluggishly. They rotate down there. They do get the wall. They are going to pressure this fort, but they've actually boxed themselves into a really rough spot. Sundering hitting almost everybody. Silence, Wailing Arrows, huge. Gets a ton of damage here. Zul gets a lot of value out of this poison over. No one's gone down yet, but Diablo explodes. That's going to be Zul. That's going to be Brightwing. You do see Thrall go down for the counter engagement, but Jaina gets caught as well, and Phantom Puppy spinning for his life, trying to get Diamond, but the shield is going to secure the ace. The ace for Snipe Squad. They're about to hit their level 16. They already have 2 keeps down. They have Sylvanas. Can they end this game, or are they just going to look for a turn-in? And I think they're just looking to play it safe. They don't want to throw, so they're just going to take out this bottom fort. A turn is more or less guaranteed to them. So it looks like they're going to take this bottom fort and just rotate to the bottom turn in. If anyone dares to step in there, show their face, it would get soundly ripped off. So that's going to be a free turn in for Ninja. Nice strike out here, trying to get some of his souls back. But he's 1 Storm Bolt and some follow-up away from going down again. Owl flying across the map. Oh! Does a ton of damage to Loki and Freakazoid. Whoop! What was that? Ranger? Yeah. And this is huge. We're on the verge of potentially the end of this game. Web Weaver rotating all the way up to the destroyed keep. You already have the Web Weaver in the top lane getting there as well. And it looks like there's some passive play from Snipe Squad here. NinjaHood has to respond to these Web Weavers. So while that's going on, they're just going to push up this bottom lane. And they're looking to play this really safe. They know that if they were going to engage and go for core, it would be under the core itself. They can't lock that down. And Poison Nova is a consideration. A leap at the right time is a consideration. So they're just looking to wait for their opportunity. Force Wall does Put Freakazoid in a tough spot. He does get the follow-up. And the leap only hits one person. Only Diamond. There is the Apocalypse afterwards. But Freakazoid eating a ton of damage. Just barely gets out of there thanks to Brightwing's healing. But Jaina doesn't. Phantom Puppy on the verge of going down. A nice stun. Followed up by Sonya's death. King of Skills out on the verge here. Looking for more. PLK isolated. Trying to get away. The Lunar Flare just misses. Night Strike and Freakazoid on the other side of this. And I'm not sure if they have the sustain to end this game right now. 3 members of Snipe Squad are about half health. Everyone has a good amount of mana, though. They could theoretically do this. Jaina's going to be up in 4 seconds. Sonya's going to be up here in 10. So I do not think this is going to be the end of the game unless Ninja Squad or NinjaHood puts themselves in a weird spot and there are more takedowns. So Snipe Squad exercising some passive play here, exercising some patience, and we have a pause. Peanut has left the game. We can't finish this game without Peanut. This does give us a moment. Just kind of look at where things are at. So, Bruiser Camp gets picked up by Snipe Squad. They have a huge lead. They have a talent tier. I think they're 4 levels up. The pause thing is blocking it. They have their 16 talents. So Cold Embrace. Even more burst potential on a primary target. Stone Form for sustain. You did see Thunderstrike for murder. Ranger, we already saw value out of that. Thrall going for full sustain here. Wind Shear, Grace of Air, Tempest Fury, and Dimensional Warp. So it's gonna be hard to take Tassadar out. Brightwing, they pick up Shield Dust. Stormfront. I like this talent pick from Jaina. They've identified that Snipe Squad has been able to get to the back line. Hasn't really paid off for him though. He still has gone down a couple times. Classic Canadian internet. Corpse Explosion. They stand to get some value out of that. They're gonna want to try to push these lanes up as fast as possible. And Firestorm for Diablo. It looks like we're about to jump back into this. NinjaHood in the last position they would ever want to be. No keeps. Nowhere near another turn-in. Down 3 levels. Down a talent tier. How do they respond to this? This is the breathing room. This is the breathing room they need. This is that moment where they just kind of collect themselves, regroup, put together a plan, and execute. You see Snipe Squad going up for the boss. POK is looking to sniff this out. He sees that. But it turns into a bait setup for Snipe Squad here. Oh! They do get a root on POK. A fancy Blink Heal is going to avoid the Storm Ball. Night Strike taking off of his mounted position there. And this is tough. This is so tough for Ninja Squad. Because this boss could end the game. They're down a talent tier though. They're not level 16 yet, so they can't properly fight this. So Snipe Squad is just kind of like troll face at this moment. Because it's like, you step in here, we'll rip your face off and win the game. You give us this boss for free, the push potential could potentially end the game as well. There's the Apocalypse though, and they're going full ham. They actually do manage to take out Thrall early in this fight. But at what cost? POK, low key, super low. Night Strike, looking to peel for his teammates. Gets an overpower to put some distance between King of Skills and the rest of the team. Freakazoid, really low as well though. The Owl almost taking out Brightwing. Enjoy, plenty of health. Manages to stick out in the front line, gets a good amount of damage, and that was about as much as Ninja Squad could hope for. They get a kill, they get on even talent tiers, and they disrupt the boss. That's going to buy them some time. They clear out this bottom wave, they don't want catapults on their keep, the Snipe Squad is back at it again. Damn, Daniel! Back at it again with the boss attempt in the top lane. And this boss is about to go down. They're in the, and a clutch force wall from Peanut, tripping my words up, anticipating the lisp. They do get the boss though. Is NinjaHood able to burn this down enough to save them from losing this game? Phantom Puppy getting pushed around by the tornado, and low key, you are low, dude. You need to go heal up. And the Owl just misses. Freakazoid and the gang are doing whatever they can. They do manage to get the boss down to halfway before it gets to the core here. But, Sonya leaps to their demise. Second they hit the ground, they die. POK is really low. Jane is down as well, and they just don't have the damage now. Without Sonya and Jane, I just don't see how they stop this. Nice Strike goes down. Silence. Silence Azul. And that's a full ace to round this game out. And that's going to be a 2-0 victory for Snipe Squad. GG. Woo! Killer game. Killer game. What do you say? It goes back to the draft. I'll pull it up again. It goes back to the draft. The moment I saw them pick up Diablo, I was like, that's either going to win or lose in the game. If they pull it off, if they're allowed to have a forward-leaning posture, if they're allowed to be aggressive with Diablo, it puts them in a good spot. They can pick off people. If they time the Shadow Charge and Overpower right, Sylvanas wouldn't be able to get away. Tyrande has no real escape unless they take 13, sprint at 13. But it didn't go that way. Snipe Squad was able to isolate Diablo early, able to take him out. Just spooked him. He just couldn't engage. Every time he tried the Shadow Charge in, he was just alone. And before Blink Heal, you can't really, Brightwing isn't in a position to really, enable or support a dive from Diablo. And the times POK did maneuver in there to try to get him some healing, that just exposed Brightwing. So it was almost like you needed Sonya to go in first. At least the spin would have given them some sustain. And then that gives Zul time to kind of set up. But at that point, if you're not looking to hard engage with Diablo, then you're not going to get a lot of value out of him. So I don't know. It was just a tough game for them. They just weren't able to get back into it. But overall, a very fun set to cast. Again, I love these teams. Any chance I get to see them, I'm always excited. To get to cast them is definitely a pleasure. So to be able to cast them both at the same time, that's like that makes my week already. Very exciting stuff. But thanks to both the teams. Phantom Puppy, you're welcome. My pleasure. If this is your first time checking out the stream, welcome. All the follows that came in earlier, very much appreciated. I'm also on Twitter, twitter.com/_Lauren. And yeah, I have a lot of fun casting. I love doing it. You'll see me casting some other stuff. I'm actually really excited about it. Always love casting Chair League. Super Jova gave me a chance to start casting, and I'll forever be grateful for that. You'll always see me on Chair League. But you'll find me in other places too now. I'm actually going to be co-casting Heroes Hype on Wednesday with DJ Tired, which is like a huge deal. Stay tight. I'm really excited about that. That's a great opportunity. Really, really lucky to get that. And I'll be doing the next verse finals next month with Captain Cardo. Of course, I can shout you out. Enjoy. Actually, enjoy it. Hang on. Thanks, Decade. I really appreciate that, man. I'm actually going to see if Enjoy, as the captain of Snipe Squad, would like to jump in here for a quick interview. One thing that I think would be a really cool idea for at least the pro division is to kind of talk to, the captains of the teams after the game. Because, I don't know, Chair League wouldn't exist without the players. I always try to do what I can to give people exposure and stuff, and because these teams are awesome. Yeah, you're welcome, Tommy. No problem, man. I love casting. But yeah, I would like to help get the names of the players out here. Chair League becomes infinitely more exciting a thing to watch when you've seen these teams develop, when you've seen them grow, and when you've seen them and when you've seen them progress, and you see stakes on the line, and I think it's cool. But yeah, I know Enjoy is the captain. He's saying no in the chat, but or if he, I don't know, is he? I thought he was the captain. Handlebars is speaking to the contrary there a little bit, so gonna lock in the win for Snipe Squad there. Oh, I missed it. My bad, Castle Bravo. Rip. All right, so here's what we can do. Let me jump on Discord. Yeah, I don't have eyes, so apparently I don't have eyes. I just missed it. So let me. Oh, I can join. Oh, all right, cool. So better yet, I will join these guys. And this is like a kind of a geeking out moment for me. I accept the invite. I'm launching the application.
Like on the website.
Hey.
Hey, what's up?
Is that the Penis?
Is that him?
I don't know.
His internet's, yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the connection problems. Hashtag Canada. But congratulations on your victory, guys. That was very fun to watch.
Thanks, man. Yeah, those were fun games.
How did you feel about the draft in Game 1? When you saw that they took Leoric, did you feel that that was a big advantage for you guys? Did you feel that it was something to be concerned about?
Yeah, no, for sure. Like, we drafted, like, the God comp the first game. And, like, they had no CC to stop Sonya. So, like, if you can't stop Sonya, I feel like you just lose the game. So,
you could see the idea they had with their draft, with the Toronto Greymane first pick. But then they sort of just ended up turning it into, like, quad ranged, which isn't really going to work against a Thrall Sonya. So, like, their comp was really easily exploitable.
Very good points. Yeah, because your first 3 picks, I was like, ooh, like I don't know,
exactly.
I don't know how any team deals with that. Like that, that was crazy out of the box. I felt like with the Leoric pick, it was like they had 2 different ideas, and they were like, all right, well, they're heavy melee, so we can get some value out of that. But
yeah, for sure. Like they started off with an immortal race comp, like. Greymane Tron is insane at burning down the mortal, but then, like, they don't have a front line if you do that, and like with Leo, like it's even worse. Like you don't actually have a body to like soak all the damage.
Yeah, you guys were able to pick him apart pretty much at will. Very nice focus fire there on that.
Yeah, we got.
You guys got every immortal. Solid play in that whole game. Very cool stuff. Decade. So you excited for the live action Power Rangers? I'm cautiously optimistic. Penis, I've been told to ask you a question, and my question for you is: do you enjoy trolling me? Every time I cast you, I have to chuckle whenever I say penis. Is he even here? Rip. So now he's trolling me even in this interview. So
no, his thing just lit up. I think he's here.
I see his name lighting up. But
no, he's trolling.
Rip.
Damn.
Hey, thanks for casting tonight, by the way.
Oh, my pleasure, man. I always have fun casting. Especially, I love watching you guys. When I can catch you guys playing or cast you guys, I'm always excited about that. So thank you guys. You guys make it fun to do. Second game. So, again, kind of a similar question about the draft. When you guys saw the Diablo pickup, did that shift your strategy as far as how you guys were going to handle rotations? Did it shift how you guys were going to focus team fights? Like how did you guys respond to that?
I think the biggest thing was team fights for us, because like once you get that APOC like leap combo, you can actually like they did it to Castle on Thrall.
Yeah.
Like you can just CC someone to death like instantly. So I mean that was a big thing. Like I picked up Will the Forsaken, so I could get unstoppable.
APOC forced us into unstoppable on Sylve and sprint on Tyrande. The biggest problem I think was Brightwing was like that pick made absolutely no sense. It seemed really forced for them.
I think if they go like Uther or something, like another stun and then the D shield, like that's a really scary comp because they can just like dive you and CC you to death. I don't know.
Yeah. To that point, you guys were very smart to ban out Uther in the second ban phase. I agree. I didn't really understand the Brightwing choice if you were going to go Diablo. So it was almost like Diablo was kind of like knee jerk in some ways.
Yeah,
where it
maybe.
was like, well, I don't know what warrior we go with. You guys, I feel like you guys could have ended the game a couple of times there too. Like you guys had 2 keeps down. There were a few heroes down on the side of NinjaHood.
Yeah, the Peen God the Peen God didn't want to throw, so he told us to back up. I wanted to push core, but Peen he just wanted that bot keep, so we went for it.
I think the biggest problem with Brightwing was actually that they really needed a cleanse healer. Like, I don't know, you kind of have to respect Tyrande Mirrodin, especially on such a small map, and Brightwing is just a little.
You have to give up shield if you take cleanse. Yeah.
Yeah. Brightwing doesn't really count as a cleanse there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I really like the strategy that you guys had at the end of the game when you started going for the boss, and then you kind of baited it and you waited. And they were in such a weird spot because it was like they're down a talent tier. Do they go in and fight down a talent or just give you the boss for free? Like it was just such an impossible situation that you guys forced them into. So that was really good shot calling on you guys' part.
That's the beautiful thing about Tomb of the Spider Queen. The positioning of the Siege Giants really allows you to get free boss or get free push. Yeah. So in that situation, we can just sit at the boss and like wait and see what they do. If they come to us, we just keep sitting there and wait for the siege to push. Otherwise, we get a free boss. So,
yeah, like I said, like I felt you guys could have ended sooner, but that moment there was just kind of like, I don't know how NinjaHood responds to this. It was just a really rough spot that you guys put them in. But any other comments? Like, where can people follow you or see you guys?
You can watch me stream at twitch.tv enjoy_hots. I don't have a Twitter, but follow me.
He's never going to actually stream. But
yeah,
everyone should yell at him and make him stream. So
yeah, just follow me. Follow me on Instagram.
On the Instagram? All right,
I don't have one of those either.
Well, thanks for taking a few minutes to chat with me after the game. Again, very nicely done. You guys played great.
Yeah, for sure.
Always
Thanks
fun
for
to watch you guys. Yeah, absolutely.
It's awesome of you.
I look forward to seeing you guys move forward in the season. I'm sure we'll be seeing you guys in the playoffs. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Sounds good.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah. Thanks for casting.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So that was Snipe Squad. Very cool guys. Definitely check them out. They are a team to watch. They won season 1 for a reason. They have a serious amount of talent on their roster. Very cool stuff. But yeah, that's gonna be it for me for tonight. Very fun series to get the cast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you haven't hit follow, please hit follow. And yeah. Green Power Ranger out, I guess. Let me see if anyone is streaming that I can pass you guys over to. Let's see. I can pass you over to my friend Lady Sky, who is streaming right now. But yeah, thanks again, guys. I had a blast. Chairleague.com, check it out. Always fun. And I'll see you guys later.